Hey everyone, so I guess it's like my third time trying to do this video, going live, because yeah, so many problems with my kid, won't go to bed. So, as you can see from the title, it's about my story of getting molested, and I'm not doing this video to get pity or anything. I'm doing this video to kind of help those who probably has been through it, and more people should speak about it, just so that there's like this community that's created and they can bounce back on each other, because it happens so often and nobody really wants to talk about it. And so I feel like it's best to get it off your chest because it's like a burden you carry. And so yeah, I talk a lot. So, we'll just get right into the story. Um, First of all, I'm still debating if I want to say his name or not, just so I don't get everybody confused. So I might say his name, because I don't really care if I say his name or not. Like, that's how much I have a grudge on him, because he did take my innocence away, sort of, in a sense. And I still feel like he never had the rights to do that. So, I think I'll just say it because I don't really care if they see this, he sees this, because there's so many people with this name. The only thing is, I don't remember his last name. So, and I don't remember his face at all. So, if you think I cared, I don't. So, that's how traumatized I was because I don't remember his face. So, let's get right onto it before the kid wake up. So, this is I would say between freshman year and junior year. I don't know when it happened because of how traumatized I was. And my brother had a friend, and they were in this breakdance crew. So they would come over to practice. He's come over once, or like 2 or 3 times. He's seen me. He had his eyes on me all the time. And I was like, okay. I thought he was cute. So I was like, all right, if he thinks, I knew he liked me because he's always staring at me. So I was like, okay, if he likes me, then we'll see if anything happens. And so the next time they come over, it was my brother's birthday. And I guess, I saw that he just kept staring at me the whole time. That time I was still shy. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't really talk to him much. We didn't really get to know each other much. We just kind of like smiled back and forth here and there. And then when it was time to send him home, his name is, maybe I shouldn't say his name just because I don't want to relive it, his name in my mouth because of how much I hate him. But it was time to send them home. Two of my brother's friends had to go home, so that was one was him and one was another friend. And so I wasn't planning on going, but he was kind of like staring at me like, hey, you want to go? And I was like, oh, okay. I thought he was trying to get to know me. So I asked my sister, and he said, okay, might as well go, I guess. And then I went, was in the middle seat. He was to my left, the other friend was to the right. And so the first thing he did was, I think 10 minutes into the car ride, we just kind of stare at each other, kind of those like awkward, like puppy love look, I guess you can say, because he kept tapping me. He kept like nudging me for me to look at him. So I was like, oh, okay, like I looked, and then he held my hand. So I was like, okay, I guess we're boyfriend girlfriend now. I guess that's what my initial thought was. And then I thought it was cute because I was naive because I thought he was cute. So I was like, oh, okay, a guy that actually likes me back when I liked him. Very rare. So after that, the worst happened. Well, not the worst. Second to worst. Um, he tapped me on the shoulder again. So I looked again, and he leaned in for a kiss, and I was like, whoa, hold up. I did not want to kiss him at all because I'm very old fashioned. I like to save my kiss, my virginity, all of that for the one I know who's gonna be my soulmate, my only husband, that all of that. I was saving it all, right? And, I, you know, was brought to be old school, to save it for a new husband. And so, he turned at me, like nudged me again to look at it, and he tried to kiss me again. I was like, oh no, it ain't happening, boy. So I guess he thought I was trying to play hard to get. And um, I'm guessing I'm the only girl that's ever done this to him. I don't know, because I guess this is how he does it with all the girls. And so he nudged me again, and this time threw me off so freaking bad, because as soon as I looked at his face, he already locked lips with me, and his tongue was already down my throat. And I was just like, I pulled away so quick, and in my head, that instant, I regretted everything, that decision of going with them on that trip, that ride home to take them home, because I knew from then that he only wanted sex, and that was it. He didn't care about me, he just wanted sex. And that's when I was just like, great. I put myself in this situation. Like, seriously, like, I didn't know that he was this type of guy. That really proves that never judge a book by its cover, because he was so innocent looking. Like, he looked like the littlest kid. Like, you never think anything horrible would, like, he would do anything horrible. Like, he looked like the sweetest guy on earth, right? Nope. Looks are deceiving. So, the whole entire time, I stopped looking at him. I just quit, because I was just like, this is it. I was already mad, because I was like, first of all, you stole my first kiss, and in the worst way possible. Like, all those movie scenarios you see, you never wish it was you, and then it happens, and I'm just like, I had to be the one, seriously. So, not happy about that. And so, I was praying for this whole trip home to be done. And the only thing that sucks is we were sending him home last. So the other friend went home already, right? They dropped him off. And we gotta take this guy food, which is all the way across from where the other friend is. And I was like, crap. I can't ask to be dropped back home. So I sat in this ride, and then as soon as that friend left, I scooped from the middle to the end seat. And guess what he did? He followed me. He sat in the middle this time. And I was just like, great. Great, 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 great. So at this point, I didn't know what he wanted. I did not know what his intention was. And I was actually afraid. I was very afraid. Because I couldn't believe this was happening to me. I was just like, what was I thinking? So, these next part are kind of like stuff I don't want to relive. But, he started, he put his hand on my thighs, my left thigh. So I knew what he wanted from that point on. So I pushed his hands off. And then he decided to go a little deeper into the private area. And, yeah. I was at this moment, I seriously thought I was in some nightmare, some horror movie, and this only happens in movies, Because I was like, I'm this girl who doesn't know anybody, who's, like, innocent, and all of a sudden everything is just crashing down from this one person who turned out to be really strong. So I kept pushing him off, like moving his hand off of me left and right. His both hands were going, not one but two. And so he thought it was cute. He seriously thought it was cute that I was fighting him off, because he thought I was playing hard to get. I was not playing hard to get at all. I was scared for my life. So once he couldn't get down there, he tried for the upper area. And I was like in shock. I really did not know what to do besides keep fighting him off. So he made his move where he tried to touch my left breast, because he was sitting right next to me. And I pushed his hands off. So he put his arms around me, and now this time both his arms were on my breast. And so that's when, I don't know, I just kind of stretched his hands out like this, like pull it apart and held it to make sure he doesn't keep grabbing it. Because this time, I can pin his arm back because his arm is behind me. And so he tried to put his arm, but he couldn't because I was holding it. And so he tried to touch my breast again. And so he couldn't do it because I was trying to hold his hand. So he put his arms off again, and then he tried to go down there again. And this was throughout the whole entire ride to his house. Throughout this whole house, I did not say any word to my sister or my brother in the car because I was so scared. I did not know what they were going to say. I did not know what they were going to think. So, yeah. By the time we got to his house, he smiled because we're like, bye, because I had to act, natural. He smiled at me like this creepy, cringy smile. Super cringy smile that I'll get you, And that wasn't the end of him. And so by that time, I was just glad he was out the car. So my sister, they decided to detour and go home and, go to Carl's Jr. So in this time, I was contemplating in my head, thinking, like, should I tell them? Should I not tell them? And then my brother were all like, why were you guys so quiet? And then he's all like, I didn't even hear you guys talk at all and all these stuff. It was just me and her my sister talking, right? And then I was like, oh, well, I don't know. And then they're like, sure. Because they knew that, apparently, I guess they knew that how he looked at me, that he liked me, right? So then that's when I told them, I was like, well, he did try to touch me and tried to, grab me everywhere. And they're like, you kept quiet this whole time? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, you probably liked it. That's why you kept quiet. I was just like, I didn't keep quiet because I liked it. I kept quiet because I was scared. I didn't know what you guys were going to say. And so my sister told him that you need to talk to him, And then he was like, yeah, I will talk to him, kind of brushing it off. So I guess a few days or the next day or something, I asked my brother, like, did you talk to him? And he was like, yeah. He said he didn't do anything. That was the part I was like, are you kidding me? Are you seriously kidding me? He did all that and he's denying everything? And I was like, what did you say? He's like, oh, well, if you did touch my sister, don't do it again or something like that. And I was like, that's it? Are you kidding me? You're still friends with him? He's like, well, yeah. I was just like, you don't care for your own sister's life and well-being or how much. In my head, I was like, that's how you don't care. You don't care about your sister? I don't care about friendship. At this moment, your sister is supposed to be priority. You never ever let your sister get touched like that inappropriately. So from then on, I never wanted to see his face again. Even though I knew I will be seeing his face again. And so, yeah. I did not like any of that. I guess every time I seen him, he tried to act like he was still trying to hit on me. Like every single time we met, he kept trying to hit on me, like nothing happened, and he kept acting like as if I was gonna go for him, just because he did that to me. And it's like, no, I'm not. But I never said anything to him, even though I wanted to. So years, like 1 or 2 years down the road, I got married to my husband, and then we had to go live with my parents. And he was there. I already had my daughter at the time or so, because I haven't seen him for a while, like probably 3-4 years or something. And so we had to move back, and then I had my daughter, and he knew I got married. He knew I had a kid or something, and or at that time I forgot if I already gave birth or not. But when I saw him, he acted like he was flirting with me. He was standing right next to me, sitting right next to me, trying to like flirt with me. I was annoyed. I was pissed off because he acted like nothing happened, and he still came at me again, like trying to think that I was gonna let him. But then my husband popped out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he kind of backed off. Like this time he backed off, and you know, I was just like, I don't know what happened in my life at that moment, those times, because I really wish I had some people to help me more, to back me up more, to actually think that this was something horrible. But I'm actually really glad that nothing happened, because with our Hmong culture, I'm pretty sure I would have been forced to marry him. And I did not want to marry him at all. For what he's done, I don't want to marry him. I don't want him to be near him at all. So I was glad. I didn't get to marry him. I didn't get to, you know, see him ever again. And I don't remember his face. So that's the best thing of all. Me not caring how he looks like. And how this affects me in my dating life was, I know who the douchebags are, and I was more cautious when I dated. If it didn't feel right, it didn't feel right. I think that's when I knew, because um, I had this ex, he would call me babe, and it felt so weird, so awkward. And, that's when I kind of knew, like, if it doesn't feel natural, then he's not the one, because I was traumatized. I never told anybody this story. My husband knows, my brother and sister knows, and that's about pretty much it. I haven't told anybody else. I only told a part of how I lost my first kiss. That was it. I never want to relive that or tell them about that, but here I am now, telling. So, I think one thing is, if nobody stands up for you, just be more cautious and always defend yourself. Never ever just let it happen. Fight it off as much as you can. If at least you'll save more of your innocence if you are able to. If it's a stranger, it's harder. But if it's somebody you kind of know, I just hope somebody's helping you. Somebody supports you more than the support I got, because I did not receive any support. So this is probably not the first. This is probably the first guy who saw me as a sex toy, and I'm not. I'm a human being. Every woman's a human being. No girl, no woman is ever a sex toy. First and foremost, we are women, we're strong, and we're people, we're human. So, if you don't ever like this happening to your own daughter whenever you get married, what makes it right for you to do it to somebody else? And, yeah, that's my little story of what happened. Um, not the most, like, not the thing I envision will happen to me ever at all. But when you have family who are with the wrong crowd, yeah, um, not so great. But I don't know. I feel like I should say the name, but I don't want to. But because he's a Hmong guy. There's a lot of guys with this name, but yeah. That's it to my story, and with I, I just hope I never run into him again. Even though if I do, I don't even know if I realize it's him. So, yeah. Um, Has this affected me and my husband? Not really, because everything felt comfortable with my husband. I knew he was the right man for me. And I never felt rushed. I never felt threatened. I never felt like my innocence was getting taken away again. So, yeah, that was a part of my life. But I knew most of the time, because of my looks, guys are thinking I'm just a sex toy. So, yeah, that's my little story. I talked too much. I don't even know how to end this. So, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment down below. I decided to go live just because if I record this video, I can't edit because I can only allow 15-minute videos, and this is already going on 21 minutes, so this is the best I can do. So I might be doing live videos from now on, just to kind of get a little more views, just so I can add longer videos, maybe. So, sorry, my nose is running. But yeah, more story to come if you guys like this more personal side, get to know me kind of thing, because I don't know, I've been on YouTube for a while now, so I thought I would get a little personal with you guys. So my channel is about everything, even though I do mostly like beauty videos, I still like to do everything like hauls and all the other stuff and vlogs, as you've seen already. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. You guys are wherever, in the States, have a good night. So I'll catch you all in another video. Thanks for listening. I tried really hard not to cry, so yes, you guys should be proud. I'm proud of myself because I never want to live that moment again. But yeah, thank you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Subscribe, like, and comment down below. Remember, and share if you want. This might help somebody or encourage somebody that they're not alone. So yeah, bye guys.